This video is part of the Better Golf at Home series. This series within the Better Golf at Home series has to do with learning to stop hitting behind the golf ball. In part 2, we'll discuss how to practice.
Now, to understand how we hit the sweet spot, let's just get a quick look at why some people don't hit the sweet spot. A lot of golfers come into impact and they in fact reverse their pressure shift, get over to the right foot, and this is all in an effort to hit it high in the air, and then they try to get manipulative with the hands and the arms. A lot of times we start to see this left elbow bend, and that's a result of the club shaft standing up tall. The wrists are doing all this work to get the club head to the golf ball. Now all of a sudden my low point is happening early. It's either before the golf ball, which would cause me to hit the ground and take a big divot before I ever get to the golf ball. Eventually I adjust, I don't hit the ground whatsoever, and then I may barely hit the golf ball at all. I may hit it off the low part of the golf club, and all of this means that I don't get the same result. So if I hit this 9-iron, I'm going to try to imitate what I see a lot of the times. Weight on the back foot, club flipping through and standing up too tall, adding loft to the shot. My smash factor won't be as good, my distance won't be as good, and it's just not as efficient of a swing. Okay, so I hit that one low on the club face. You'll see the smash factor dropped to 1.19. You'll see that the total distance of the shot only went 109 yards. And if we look at it closely at impact, we're going to see that that club shaft was more vertical by the time I struck the ball. It's about here. I've seen more severe cases where the left elbow is starting to bend and the club head is trying to pass the hands, so the club is not leaning forward any longer. And after impact, we see a lot of violent stuff go on with that left elbow and with the wrists, a lot of stuff that looks painful and probably could even cause injury. And by the way, we've got the pressure is a little more evenly distributed here between both feet as opposed to shifting into the forward foot. And the few factors that I look for most are that by the time you're striking the ball, the pressure or your weight has shifted into the front foot. And when you do that, the shaft tends to lean forward instead of standing up straight. Leaning it forward helps make sure that that low point gets in front of the golf ball. So I've got my pressure shifting forward, I've got my handle or the shaft leaning forward, and I've also got fairly stable and quiet wrists through impact. So you'll see here, when I hit this shot, I'll go back and look at the replay. We're going to see that my weight has shifted into the left foot. My pressure is over there on that left foot. My club shaft is leaning forward. I know it's a little dim, but just as it comes into impact, it's there. As it's striking the golf ball, the ball's gone now. Here's the shaft. So it's leaning forward as opposed to standing straight up. So how do we train this? Well, there's a handful of gadgets and a few home remedies that I like to use when we're talking about connection, when we're talking about learning to strike the golf ball. It's really important that you make good contact with the golf ball before you learn to do much else. If you make a long and fast golf swing, but you don't make good contact with the ball, it doesn't do you a whole heck of a lot. Just knowing that it's important to hit the ball on the sweet spot is a big deal. And that's our aim with every club in the bag, putter to driver. Chip shots, full swing shots, half swing shots. Learning to control the sweet spot right here in the center of the club face is one of the first priorities that we have when teaching golfers how to play and teaching them how to get the ball airborne. It takes care of a lot. When we hit it on the sweet spot and we get that solid smash factor, we're going to see that the ball goes more consistent distances, more consistent trajectories, and you also tend to curve the ball more consistently when you hit it on the sweet spot. In general, shorter clubs moving a shorter distance will be easier to feel where that sweet spot is and learn where that sweet spot is. For those who are not able to find the sweet spot as easily, they make equipment that's more forgiving. So we've got you covered either way. Starting out, we're just gonna make swings that go outside of my hip pocket, side to side. My hands are just going right pocket to left pocket. My club shaft is a little below my waist on either side of me. We've got to coordinate that with a little pressure shift over to the left side to get your low point where we need it to be, make contact with the golf ball first, and then the ground. Okay, so we're going to start by just making practice swings and finding the ground. And in fact, I think that's a good thing to incorporate into your pre-shot routine, where you do that once or twice before you hit each golf ball. I wouldn't do it more than once or twice, otherwise your playing partners are gonna kill me because you'll take forever to play golf. Now I've made my 1 or 2 practice swings, now I'm gonna hit the ball. So, I'm just gonna continue to work until I can start to learn to hit it solid. If you're having trouble and you're repeatedly hitting the ground or you're hitting it thin, low on the club face, you can preset a little bit of weight on that left side. This is just a drill. You don't have to swing the golf club like this forever, but just put the weight on the left side and leave it there so we can focus on the triangle only. Okay, so I have maybe 70% of my weight over there. I'm just gonna take the club back and through. Eventually, we wanna learn to walk and chew gum at the same time, and by that I mean we wanna learn to shift and then turn and get the club through. As you succeed more, I would say 7 or 8 out of 10 is what you're looking for. You want to be able to strike that ball solidly before you move on. And now let's move it to about left arm parallel to arms parallel to the ground again. And we're just going to hit some shots where we're trying to hold that finish. We're trying to finish in balance.
Make sure that you watched all 3 videos in this series to make sure that you can stop hitting behind the ball. A link to the playlist should start to appear on your screen right about now. As always, I appreciate you taking your valuable time to watch my content. I hope this was helpful to you. Feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe with notifications so you don't miss any videos coming out soon. Take care.